Hello viewers, it's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to Reviewed, number 40, and today I'm going to be reviewing Doctor Who Series 7.
So, Series 7, it was okay. I didn't like it as much, but, you know, it was fine. It had some great episodes. The episodes that they had were really well done. But overall, the only reason I didn't like the series as much is because of the whole splitting series. They split the entirety of Series 7 into two parts. Um, so just didn't like. I don't like that point. I didn't like the format because they had a Christmas right in the middle of that. Just didn't like it as much because they had the first bit of that. Like it was the first chunk was in 2012 and the September 2012 and then there was special and then they had the rest of the series 7. It just 2013 it was just not a good season. But with the Asylum of the Daleks, that was pretty good. It had a return of the Daleks, at least every one of the Daleks, and it was really good. Kind of sad because it had the idea of the breakup of Amy and Rory. They split up. The little rough time that's happening. They split up. It's really sad. So yeah. It was a pretty good episode. They came to this asylum and the doctor met this girl named Oswin. She's actually not human, but she's a Dalek. She's been there for about a spaceship for a year. She makes souffles, and she's pretty. She's pretty. I've said this before on the previous episode. The fact that that Clara that the whole makeup thing. I noticed that. And it might have just been the lighting of the episode, but I swear that she's wearing red lipstick. I know it sounds crazy that I would think of that, but it's just I don't know. I can see that happening. Like I could see it. I mean, actually, the action figure confirms it. She was. It makes her hot, just like that. But it's basically the idea that she's a Dalek, and every Dalek is there, and there's these human Daleks with like the eye stalks just coming out of the head. It was really creepy. But yeah, it was okay. It was very sad because Amy and Rory are now like divorced. And of course they make up in the end. But it's amazing how that happens. So yeah, it was not a bad episode. Then there's dinosaurs on a spaceship. Now this episode was not bad either. I actually liked it better than the previous episode. It was well done. It was pretty well made. I had dinosaurs on a spaceship, and they actually were pretty good. The CGI was really well done. It had Brian Williams, the father of Roy Williams. His dad comes on the show, played by Mark Williams, who I know it's kind of weird that but same last names, but it's basically the same. That's the idea, and it's also the fact that a Harry Potter actor, not just that, but like he's just an amazing actor, and how it is that Doctor Quote kidnapped him and brought him to on the spaceship, and along with Big Game Hunter, it was Big Game Hunter, John Riddle, and played by Rupert Griggs. If you don't by Rupert Griggs, if you don't know him, he played Detective Inspector Lestrange in Sherlock, so you might know him. And there was also Queen Nefertiti, the legendary Queen Nefertiti from mythology. She was in the episode too. They kind of like team up. And also the villain is Solomon. He basically been killing the Solarians on the ship they own. And yeah, basically the bad guy of the episode. It was really well done. There was some pretty cool things in it. I liked it a lot. it was really well done. Yeah, I really liked it. It's pretty good. You know, so someone played by another Harry Potter actor. Um, David Bradley. He played August Filch in the Harry Potter franchise. Yeah, two Harry Potter actors who are in this series. So yeah, not bad. Not necessarily really well, I mean, not like the previous Doctor Who serials where they just look crappy, but this is not bad. Then there's a Town Called Mercy. I'm not a fan of Wild West adventure thing like this, but this wasn't bad. And some of the first time Doctors went into the Wild West. There's also the Gunstringers, I think it was. Whatever, like it was a first Doctor serial back in the day. Um, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a fan of the Wild West episodes, but this wasn't bad. It's the idea that they arrive in the American Wild West in the 1870s, and they find this town who's being terrorized by this gunslinger, this alien cyborg gunslinger, gunslinger, yeah. And they the town's doctor, whose named Scarlet Jex, is actually an alien too. And basically it's not hunting the town; it's hunting Jex, who's arrived from the spaceship, and basically it's pretty much that. He's a scientist. He's pretty much that kind of stuff. And he's really weird because he has this tattoo on his face, and everyone using the same tattoo to when the gunslinger is like now they like protect themselves. But yeah, it's pretty good. I did not fan of the Wild West stuff. It wasn't bad. It was fairly good. And there was a really cool speech in the episode where the Doctor is like saying it's because of my mercy. You know, he's like because Amy's like, you know, this is what happens when you travel alone for too long, and it's just amazing that happens. The first American on this on Doctor Who before, and the first American character on the show was really good. Because actually the Doctor does mention the Master in this episode, even though Mary doesn't even know who that is, because he's never actually been in the Master before, met the Master before. So yeah, Tonka Mercy, not bad. Definitely worth a watch. I didn't like it as much because I'm not a big fan of the Wild West, like I said before, but it was not bad. Definitely I thought it was better than the other ones I've seen. Wild West Adventures I've seen. This has the Doctor in it. So yeah. Also really this really great moment where the Doctor's riding this horse who this guy says his name is Joseph or whatever, and he's like, no, it's called, and the Doctor's like, no, it's called, he's called Susan, and he wants you to make his life choices. That was funny. But then there's the next episode of that called The Power of Three, and this introduces the cubes. It's like this cube invasion, and also introduces a unit for the first time since series 4, headed by Kate Stewart, who actually is the daughter of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, the Brigadier, who's a character from the third and fourth Doctor era. Really popular character. It's really close friend of the Doctor, and she's basically taking control of unit. She's basically the head of unit now, and basically investigating the invasion of the cubes, which is actually turned out to be this alien race the Doctor thought that were a myth, and they come and basically it's an invasion. And Brian Williams is back, of course, doing his little Brian's dog, and that was really cool. I like that. Overall, it was really funny. There was some great moments in the episode. Kind of like life with the Doctor, and life without the Doctor, that kind of thing. There's also a great moment in the episode where we have I think it was either the Doctor or it was the Doctor or Amy, accidentally marries Henry VIII. That was a really great moment because the Doctor's taking on the honeymoon or whatever. That was a fantastic moment. There's also these monsters that take Brian away, with his big mouth like that. They were really creepy. So yeah, and then of course the end of the episode has to do with them with the Doctor taking them on an adventure as full-time companions. That was really great, actual companions. That was fantastic. And then there's the final episode of It was the final episode of the Ponds, the part show of the Ponds. The Angel Take My Hand, and it's pretty emotional. It was very very sad. River comes back, it's also with it takes place in the first episode of Doctor Who episode, to set in Central Park, New York. There was a previous Doctor Who episode set in the same same decade as this episode. This episode set in the late 30s, and there was a previous episode of Doctor Who, the Doug and Manhattan episode, which was set in the 1930s also, and that was Doctor and Martha, that era. That was pretty cool. So yeah, so really well done. So yeah, and it's basically really dark and creepy. The river, they're reading Amy's reading this novel called Melody Malone, pen named by River Song. It's pretty good actually. So yeah, and the Doctor wearing Amy's glasses, which is really cool, because it's the kind of signature look. So yeah, and then of course the Amy and Roy sacrifice themselves to the angels at the end of the episode. That was pretty cute, pretty creepy. There's also these baby angels. That was really creepy. But overall, really good episode. I like the fact that they set the Statue of Liberty. It turns into an angel at the end of the episode. That was fantastic. I like that very much. So yeah, and it was very sad because they both get transported to the past. It was just sad. And of course, River supports him, travels with him again. Apparently, with that. But it's a very very sad episode because he loses the Ponds forever and never gets to see them again. Which brings me to the special. Now, this was a really it was bad. It was about the Doctor basically being this kind of a Scrooge character. It's loosely based off of the Christmas Carol. Well, not really. It's kind of, well, the Doctor takes into like a Scrooge character because he's depressed and everything. He's just lost the Ponds. So he's going to this little cloud area with the TARDIS and everything. The TARDIS is actually redesigned, which is really cool. I really like that part. The fact that the TARDIS is redesigned and everything like that because it's post-Pond era, so it's really cool. I like the new TARDIS interior. It's the same exterior but different interior because he lost the Ponds. He can't bear to have a TARDIS that looks like the one that he'd use to travel with his companions. He can't bear it. So he redesigned it, and it's actually really cool. I also realized that the time road to and new TARDIS interior doesn't actually go up and down. And that's because you're playing Late Dimensions, in which it does. Yeah, but overall it's a good episode. It has to do with the Doctor finding a second version of Clara. Was a barmaid in this episode. And also finding these killer snowmen, which is really really crazy. It's also the idea of the Great Intelligence, played by Richard E. Grant and voiced by Ian McKellen. So yeah, I think actually Dr. Simeon is the guy who's behind the Great Intelligence, but the Great Intelligence is actually this entity is not the last scene of the second Doctor's era. I can't remember. I can't remember what serial it was, but it was a serial of the second Doctor that had to do with the Great Intelligence. So yeah, it was pretty well done. And I like the new TARDIS. It's kind of grown. It's still kind of growing on me, but I like it. It has this kind of really cool lights and cool Gallifreyan writings all over. The new Time Rotors, the Time Rotors kind of it kind of spins around and everything, and the lights kind of go around and around and around. It's really cool, and it's meant to be more realistic TARDIS, unlike previous ones where it's actually organic and everything and magical, like a whimsical place. But this is actually more tacky and everything. So yeah, it's not bad. And then of course the episode itself, the rest of the episode has to do with the snowman and this governess. And then of course Clara is the one. I mean, the Postmaster gang is also there. Madame Baxter, Jenny Flint, and Strax is there. Previously from series 6, they come back and basically they try to get the Doctor out of his little sappy mood, but he doesn't want to, and Clara is only has to convince him that he's better than this. Um, and yeah, it's a really interesting episode. There's also a really great moment when the Doctor, when Clara is into the TARDIS, and he's like, it's called the TARDIS. It can travel anywhere in time and space, and it's mine. And he's like, any pass it well, any passing regards, I hold them all. And then she's like, it's all on the outside. And then he's like, oh, that's the first. Um, so it's really funny. But yeah, it's also the fact that Clara dies, and the governess is the one responsible. So yeah, it's really sad episode. Also, the end of the episode has to do with Clara reciting the words that Oswald says. Really quickly, boy, remember that was sad. But overall, great episode. I just didn't like the idea of it being smashed right in the middle of the season. Just, ugh, not how it works. But basically, the end of the episode has to do with the Doctor realizing that he's bumped into Clara before, and he wants to find her again, find out why she's the impossible girl, because that's what he calls her. So basically, he sets out to find a third version of her located in modern day London, wherever they are. And of course, this is called the Bells of St. John. This is the rest of Series 7, and it's because the reason why it's called Bells of St. John is because it's like the TARDIS, the phone rings and the bell, and then the St. John ambulance ticket. That's like the St. John. It's the St. John of it. So basically, he's finding Clara, and it's like making her remember him, and of course she doesn't remember him, so it's like convince him who she is or who he is, and basically what happens is the fact that is like he tells her who he is, she's like, what's happening? I'm the Doctor. I'm an alien from another planet. I have two hearts, and I don't know how to play a plane. Do you? That was really funny. And also like when he's saying I fixed the quadricycle, and she's like, I really don't think he did ever. And he's like, I invented that quadricycle because he's a scientist like that, and the Doctor's so whimsical and everything like that. The episode's about the Wi-Fi network. Basically, the idea is that there's people who are getting sucked into the internet via this Wi-Fi, and it's basically the job of the Great Intelligence is behind the scheme. It's actually a similar theme where we have oh, speaking of theme, completely forgot to mention this, but the Snowman has a new theme tune, as well as a new theme tune and a new theme intro. It's actually this cool planet thing, and it has the Doctor's face. Last seen in season 26, 7th Doctor era, McCoy. It's a pretty cool thing, and so yeah, it's really cool. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, it's a similar thing where it's the India's Lantern from Series 2, where it has the people getting sucked into the TV, except this time it's sucked into the internet, and the faces going into the Wi-Fi. This is called and then they're called the Spoonheads, the villains of the Great Intelligence that specializes these things called the Spoonheads, that basically takes a person's mind and morphs it and they end going, I don't know where I am, that kind of thing. It's really creepy. There's a great part where the Doctor is on his motorcycle, he drives up the building. That was really cool. And of course the end of the episode has where Clara, she's quite beautiful. She's quite pretty in this episode. She basically she refuses to find the Doctor, but tells him to come back tomorrow, and he does. And they go to read the rings of Alcaton, which is a multitude of planets, or multitude of cities, something like that. And they find it's the same place the Doctor took Susan when he was in his first incarnation, first Doctor, Alcaton, and Clara runs into this little girl who Mary. She's very cute. I love the little cute British girls. They're just so cute. And basically, it's a very unusual planet. And it's this amazing song because she's afraid to sing, without being embarrassed. So she sings the song. And it's really a good adorable episode. It really is. It's a fantastic episode. And yeah, it's fantastic. And they find out this monster is gonna get out, and it's just fantastic. It's also the beginning of the episode has to do with this leaf that if it had not like slammed into Clara's father, they would never have met. They would never have met, and thus Clara wouldn't have existed. So it's kind of like because the doctor's investigating Clara, so he wants to find out who she really is because he doesn't know who she is. Based off of like because he calls her the Impossible Girl because she's trying to investigate her life. So it's also it's also the first time we actually see the Doctor's new costume because it's post Pond era, so he has a new costume. He abandons the tweed jacket and replaces it with a purple frock coat and a white shirt with a new bow tie, like a purplish bow tie, and a vest and eventually a pocket watch, a little fob watch, which he doesn't really use. But yeah, it's overall really good. So yeah, let's see, and then the next episode was Cold War, and actually it's pretty cool because like said in the Doctor's Wife, what happens is the fact that the TARDIS can't take the Doctor where he wants to go, but where he needs to go, and they want to go to they want to go to Las Vegas, but they end up going into Russia in the 80s. This Russian submarine in the 80s, where it's basically an Ice Warrior episode, Cold War, and they end up going into this this place where they find out this Ice Warrior, not seen since the Second Doctor's era. He's been asleep for five millennia, and he's angry. It's the first time he's actually an Ice Warrior without the helmet on, because actually the CGI is actually really well done. I don't really have an opinion on CGI. It just kind of it's pretty good. It's really well done. It's really creepy. It's like it's really kind of creepy-esque, kind of submarine type thing where they're going underwater and everything, and Clara speaks for them. Clara is she's growing on me. She's my favorite companion. I love her. She's amazing. She's so cute and beautiful. I just love her. She's my all-time favorite companion. I just like her very much. So yeah. And they finally get away because the TARDIS abandons them at the beginning of the episode. And they finally find the TARDIS, but it's a creepy episode. It's really dark. I did like it though. It's just a very fascinating episode. And then of course there's High where they land in this place where there's this soon to be a couple find out they're trying to figure out why this ghost is inhabiting their house. And this woman Emma Grayling, who is also known for playing Verity Lambert, the original producer for Doctor Who in the Adventure in Space and Time, and basically she and Dougray Scott's character, who's a professor, Dougray Scott, he was in Mission Impossible 3, I think, yeah, 3. No, I think it was 2. I can't remember. Yeah, he was in Mission Impossible. But they try to figure that out. Why this ghost. Of course, since the Doctor and Clara there, that ghost busting. They find out essentially that this time traveler from the pocket dimension, and the Doctor goes into the pocket dimension and finds out these two creatures who are like missing from their mates, and he mates them up. And also, there's a little mention of the Third Doctor era, which is with Metabulus 3. He pronounces it Metabulus 3, but it's actually pronounced Metabulus 3. It's actually the same planet that the Third Doctor goes to take a crystal, which the Great One wants back. The effect of that is the Third Doctor regenerates because of radiation poisoning in the Great One's cave. If you've seen the Planet of the Spiders, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, honestly, really good episode. Fantastic. It was really some great moments. Also, the end of the episode has to do with, well, obviously the TARDIS isn't like Clara, so she tries to get in. There's also a really great nod to the 10th Doctor's spacesuit when the Doctor is going to this other planet to investigate some things about so that he can figure out the mystery of this episode. Like he's trying to figure out the mystery of the ghost, and he finds the Pokemon mentioned, and he goes and takes a picture of Mars or whatever when the spacesuit is the same spacesuit the 10th Doctor wears, which is really cool. So yeah, and at the end of the episode, the Doctor asks Anna, who Clara is, like why is she popping in, and she's like, oh, she's just Clara, she's just an ordinary girl, very pretty, duh, but ordinary girl, and then it's just like that, and of course the episode is about like love, in because it turns out the reason behind everything is these creatures who are like lost in the maze or whatever. It has something to do with that. It's really creepy, very creepy. And then of course there's the Journey to the Center of the TARDIS episode, which is about the salvage crew who is basically trying to salvage the TARDIS, and it's basically as the title episode says, Journey to the Center of the TARDIS, which hasn't been actually literally happening since the Doctor's Wife, when Amy and Roy were stuck in the TARDIS corridors, same kind of thing. I like the Doctor's outfit. He ditches his frock coat for the episode, and just into his vest, and then Clara has hair up and wearing a beautiful dress, not big, poofy, but like just a really nice dress, and everything's with a red dress. It's really really beautiful. And basically they go to the center of the TARDIS. They meet things like the swimming pool, the library, where Clara actually finds this book called The History of the Last Great Time War, where it's basically actually has a Doctor's name in it, and she realizes who he is, but people are also told. So basically they find a whole bunch of things like that, and we also find the echo rooms, which are rooms that don't actually exist. They're just mirrors of the console room, which is really crazy. We also have voice cameos from previous Doctors, like the Ninth Doctors. Even though the Great Lords of Genghis Khan couldn't go out the door, and really they tried. And then it's like, and then I think the Third Doctor's like, it's dimensionally transcendental. That was cool. It's a really cool voice cameo. So overall, really really fantastic episode. We also see the Eye of Harmony, not seen since the movie, Doctor the movie, sorry, Paul McGann, the 1996 version. No, the 1996 movie. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was fantastic. I liked the episode. It was really really well done. Yeah, and then of course there's a Crimson Horror, which is the return of the Parsonessa Gang. It's basically the idea that this Crimson Horror, it's set in Sweetville, this like Victorian era setting, and it's set in Sweetville, and it's basically this liquid that can turn you red, and it can make you like paralyzed. The Doctor gets it, and he becomes this paralyzed monster. And this blind girl, the daughter of the villain of the story, this Cauliflower, and he's eventually the Parsoness again rescue the Doctor, or particularly at least Jenny does, and there's a really great scene where the Doctor kisses Jenny, and she slaps him because she's married. That was funny. But also this Drax being silly, where he's like, I want to play with my grenades, and he doesn't get to play with his grenades, so it's really funny. So yeah, and overall, really great episode. I like the Clara's hairstyle and dress. That was really really cute. So yeah, I liked it. And then of course there's Nightmare in Silver, which is fantastic. It was the Return of the Cybermen. We have the Doctor taking Clara and her the kid she's nannying, because she's a nanny, and Artie and Angie, the two African American kids. Very cute. And basically take them to Hedwig's World of Wonders, and basically a Cybermen episode, the Return of the Cybermen, not seen since closing time, but actually the Tenet era Cybermen, so they kind of have this cyber symbol on it. But yeah, it was really great. So the Cybermen literally upgraded. They had different voicing, and it's really great. We have Porridge, who's played by Warwick Davis. If you don't know who he is, he played Professor Flitwick in the Harry Potter franchise. So that's the third Harry Potter actor who's been Doctor Who. So yeah, it's just a really fantastic episode. It actually has basically the war between the new Cybermen and the Doctor and Cloud and everyone else, and some military people. And it's really like this fantasy land with this like castle and everything. It's just amazing. There's also this really great episode between this scene between the Doctor and Cyberman version of the Doctor, because he's like Catholic converted, and it's basically like a scene between where he's talking about regeneration, and he's like, I can regenerate right now, big blast of regeneration energy, and then he like shows all the different Doctors I love the episodes. I love the episode where they have like each Doctor from different timelines. That was amazing. That was a fantastic part of the episode. Different Doctors just flashing up. It was great. And then of course when I can't remember who it is, but I think maybe that might have been, I don't remember. One of the characters says that Clara is pretty, and then she asks the Doctor, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And he's like, "No, you're bossy, and your nose is so funny." Well, obviously she's not. She's pretty because she's amazing. Um, that was really funny. And then Paul just a fantastic character. So yeah, and then of course there's the finale, which is the name of the Doctor, and like the name suggests, it's supposed to imply that the Doctor's name is revealed, but it's not. But it wouldn't be Doctor Who without if it wouldn't be Doctor Who. It really wouldn't. It would very much not be Doctor Who if it was like that. But really, really great episode. Basically, they like this Doctor's secret is revealed. His name is actually he's actually the Doctor. It's a secret he keeps. The Return of River Song. It has everyone there. The Postmaster Gang. Everyone there. The Great Intelligence. The Silence. Everyone's there. They all it's all sudden set on Frenzelaw, the place where the Doctor is supposed to die, and it's in its 11th incarnation. There's a big TARDIS with this like time stream version of the TARDIS console room, and of course there's a door they come to where where the Doctor has whispered his name and he didn't want to whisper the name, so but River does because she knows his name, and it's really weird. These creepy creatures called the Whispermen, who are basically these monsters, these guy with Victorian era suits on, and top hats, and like it looks like a mask without eyes, like a mask and then like little deep indents where the eyes could go, and then like sharp teeth. It's really creepy. Also, the Return of the Great Intelligence by Dr. Simeon, played by Virginia Grant. It was fantastic. Because he was previously in the Bells of St. John and the Snowman. He was Dr. Simeon, who's a fantastic character. Because also Ian McKellen was also in that episode, but he does not come back. He just does not. Why would he do come back? But overall, fantastic episode. It has the has to do with Clara, like following through this time stream because she's the impossible girl. And the Doctor keeps throwing into her, and it's basically she sees every single one of the Doctors, except maybe 1 in 10. I don't think I remember seeing 10. Might have seen 1. Actually, I think I saw 1, but I don't think I saw 10. But everyone else is there, I'm pretty sure. Two in his little frock coat, big furry coat from whatever I think it was the episode. It was Alice Warriors episode. That was Serial. That was really great. So yeah, it was fantastic, and it was also when River's there and the Doctor can't see her, so it's just it was a fantastic episode. And also the episode ends with the Doctor and Clara meeting, Doctor and Clara meeting a previous unknown Doctor, the War Doctor, played by John Hurt. I don't know who he is. He was he played Ollivander in the Harry Potter franchise. So that's the 4th actor this series to be in Harry Potter, which is fantastic. I love the old cameos by other actors who've been in movies like I've seen before. So yeah, and it sets up for the 50th it sets up for the Day of the Doctor, which is the 50th anniversary special, which I'll be reviewing next week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I most likely will be having a guest star. Still being figured out right now, but yeah, be prepared for that. So yeah, again, that'll be it for this episode. I give it a 6 out of 10, mainly because of the whole split seasons. Series 6 was split into 2 parts, but it was like a couple months break. It was like Series 6 and the first half of 2011, and then the rest of Series 6 and the second half. It was like a couple months difference. But yeah, it was pretty good. And then of course, make sure to, if you like this, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe my channel. I've had comments on my channel about how amazing my content is, and they don't actually subscribe. So make sure to subscribe. Don't forget that I recently surpassed 50 subscribers, and now I've gotten a couple more. So make sure to subscribe. I don't get a lot of views, but it'd be awesome if you subscribe because I make some great content. I'm already making amazing content. I do this show, I do podcast, I do let's plays, I do other stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, overall, the series was really great. I didn't like it as much because of the whole split season, but um, it was pretty good. I really liked it. I didn't like it as much because of the whole split season, and they put this pre-special right in the dab in the middle. I didn't like that because it's always been like where they have a special and a season. I just it wasn't bad. I just didn't like it as much. But they still had some great parts of they had some great storylines and some great comebacks and everything like that. And both splits were really good. Yeah, I liked them a lot. They were really well done. It's just the fact that they were split into two parts. I didn't like that. It was the first. It was the first. That was like September of 2012. I feel like 5 weeks of September, and then starting the end of March, we have the rest of the series, 7 episodes. So yeah, I didn't like them as much. I mean, I like the episodes. I didn't like the format. The format of the series wasn't that the best. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next episode. All right. See ya.